Hey, I'm Rob. Welcome to Reframe, where I help you reframe your artistic blockages to reach your full creative potential.
Time to make a difference. It's time to make a change. Let's throw our thoughts up on the wall.
In this episode, we're talking about the flow and allocation of creative energy and how you might be spending your creative energy on attachments instead of art. I'm going to teach you how to divert your creative energy back to your art and not become overly attached. We become attached to things in life in order to have a sense of security, yet the security is somewhat false, as the nature of life is the impermanence of life. Attachment can be correlated to ownership and possession, and therefore an emotional weight is allocated to the people or things we become attached to. Attachment isn't a negative or positive thing. Each instance of attachment is entirely contextual, and each attachment has positive and negative aspects. Attachment to your child ensures your child survives. This is important. But unhealthy attachment to habit, routine, identity, work, relationships might be unknowingly consuming your creative energy and not allow you to access your full potential. Attachments tend to occupy your mind with thoughts beyond the moments in which you engaged with the attachment. In other words, you think about it a lot. And this is where your creative energy is going. Every thought you have about your attachment is a creative exercise. Your mind is generating stories, regardless of your control of it. You are a puppet playing out your mind's scenarios, the what ifs. So let's reframe the thinking you do into something which acknowledges its creativity. Let's call it creative story thoughts. When you engage in story thoughts, you're turning your creative energy into excess potential. The term excess potential was coined in the book Reality Transurfing by Vadim Zeland, and it's defined as the tipping of a balance of a scale of one end by placing excess importance on this end through thinking. And because you have a mental construction of importance around your attachment, you go out into the world and your actions naturally align to that tipping end of the scale, that excess potential, and the reaction you get from the world is in accordance to what you have put out to the world. When you interact with the attachment that you're tipping the scale for, whether it be a person or a habit, there is a strong opposing force wanting to bring balance. That doesn't mean that your importance has been lessened. So when this opposing force tries to bring balance, it causes tension or disintegration in an unintended way. In other words, you lose the attachment, or the attachment becomes all-consuming. It actually becomes an act of fighting to keep it. The key to getting what you need creatively is the idea of recognizing and becoming aware of when you're placing unneeded importance on an attachment through excessive story thoughts. Allow those feelings to be there by acknowledging out loud that you're experiencing them and creating story thoughts about them, then that it's okay to be feeling that. Decide if you want to continue to use your creative energy for the creation of story thoughts. And if you say no, shut your eyes and picture that you're dropping the story thought down from your head, down to your chest, and through, down to your feet, and then out. At the same time, allow for the thought to pass away. Do this over and over until your head is clear and you feel the thought has melted away. Once you've let the story thought pass, you can then realign yourself with your goals based on your creative purpose. The best way I think you can do this is by using a physical writing medium. So get a pen and a piece of paper and write these 3 things down. Number 1, what it is you create and why you create it. I am a music producer and a mixing engineer, and I love to create music because it offers freedom for me. Because of the skill set that I have, I'm able to express myself freely through this medium. The second thing to write down is 2 artists who inspire you and why. One artist that inspires me is John Mayer. I love his songwriting style and the diversity that he has within his music. I also love his story and how his music reflects his story throughout the years. And I love the Beatles because they revolutionized music by innovating and using the technology at the time to bring brand new sounding music to the mainstream, changing music forever, which I think is very impactful. So it's very inspiring. The third thing I want you to write down is 1 step of action that you could take today to be creative. A step of action for me would be to get my guitar out of the guitar case so that it's in sight, ready for me to play when I need to, or when I feel the urge to pick it up. it's not difficult for me to go pick up the guitar. These steps center you, get you from overthinking about your attachment or your story thoughts, and get you back aligned with your creative purpose. It brings you into a growth mindset. It acknowledges the feelings that we can't help but feel, but doesn't allow it to become a thought loop and a creative rut. It emphasizes the use of creativity to help us express ourselves out of our ruminating thoughts. I hope this video has helped you acknowledge your attachments and given you some form of framework to bring your thoughts out and your creative purpose and energy back. Thanks for reframing attachments and thinking with me. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe.